answer those questions. So what does in-person look like at San Francisco Public Montessori? Molly will start recording. If you don't want to be recorded, just take your camera off. All right, so we've got our K-5 and our pre-K program. So I've clearly indicated which is K-5 and which is our pre-K. So the hours are somewhat different. For our kindergarten through fifth grade, school starts again at 8:30 and it ends at 1:15, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday starts at 8:30 and the end of the day is at 12. These schedules were decided. There was a Schedule A and a Schedule B, depending on how many students wanted to come back in person to determine the schedule that you would be on. So because we had so many students that were coming back, we worked it out so that we could be on a 5-day schedule. So K-5 will arrive at school between 8:15 and 8:30, no later than 8:30, because it's really difficult. Once we'll be out screening in front of the school, but once 8:30, comes, we need to go back in and take care of what's happening inside. So please do your very best to get there at 8:30. If you are going to be late, please call the school office. We also, Marilyn and I both have cell phones that you can also call. You won't be able to come in the school or come in through the office, but you can call us and we will receive your child at the front door. One adult may be present with their student. We're just trying to minimize the number of people that are out in the front. We need to socially distance. The areas are marked off so that you can see where people should be standing. We've got, but we're asking if it could just be one person, one adult that drops the child off. The staff will screen your child for COVID-19 with the questions and also take the temperature. We are having Fast Track, and that is right in the front of our school on Jackson Street. The placards are being picked up, we're being distributed on this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 3. All you need to do is drive up. Either one of us will be out there issuing the placard with your child's name on it. What happens is when you pull up on Jackson Street, please try to not block the buses. We want to stay friends with the bus drivers, and it's really hard for them because it slows everything down. If you see that there's a really long line, please go around the block or a couple of blocks and come back. Sometimes it helps if you come a little later because it's not so crowded, but if there's a line, we can't have kids going in the street, so it's a real safety concern. We have adults that will be outside at Fast Track in the morning, but also in the afternoon to help children get out of the car and put them in the car. When the fifth graders return, they will be helping, our safety monitors, they will be helping get the students in the car.
Ms. Keener, there are a couple of people in the chat who would like some clarification about what Fast Track is.
Yeah. So Fast Track is a service where you pull up to the curb. It is curbside drop off and it's curbside pickup. And we kind of created this several years ago because it was, as you know, really difficult to find parking in anywhere around the school. So you get a placard. It's just simply orange. I think they're orange or yellow. They have the child's name on it. You put it on your dash, and then you pull up curbside. The teachers, whoever is out on the curb, will see that you're picking up Claire. So we radio up to the yard, and we have the teacher who has Claire bring that child down. And we get Claire in the car, or we get Claire out of the car in the morning. But it's really it's about the safety. We don't want people double parking. We don't want people just going like this to call their kid out in the street. We want it in an orderly, safe manner. And this has worked really well. So, and it's convenience to the parent. So you can pull up, you don't have to find parking. You can just have one of the adults get your child out.
I also want to interject that it is not for pre-K. It's just from kindergarten through fifth grade.
Yes, because you need to sign your child in when and out when you in pre-K. Any more questions, Molly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Mom.
Someone asked for placards from prior years. Should we update the student's grade by writing over it?
You can. You can. If you have placards from before, please just continue to use those. It's fine.
And then another question, how do we get more than one fast track placard for multiple person pickups?
Sure. Just ask us when you pick it up. Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We can just give you an extra one. Not a problem.
I believe that's it. If anyone else has any other questions, you can unmute and ask.
There was one more about the difference between rolling drop off and fast track and whether people would be helping with fast track. And I think I can answer that, which is no. It's rolling drop off in the morning is parent led, and in the afternoon it's staff led.
And safety monitors.
Yes, more importantly, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We just started, Rebecca. If anyone needs a different language, Molly can put it in the chat of the slideshow. That's kind of, we started with introduction, so. All right, so yes, if you already have a placard from last year, go ahead and use it. You please adhere to the agreements that you will be given. Those of you who are returning know what the agreements are. Please don't make U-turns in the middle of the street. You know, follow the directions of the adult or the parent who is assigned to fast track. And it's all about safety. Please don't double park. Please, you know, don't, I've seen people go like this and try to get their child out. That's so really unsafe. So we won't let the child go. And we want to, if you are outside of the gate, you need to make contact with the teacher and not just call your child down the access road, because we won't let the child go without seeing that the parent is there to pick up the child.
Is there paperwork that has to be done prior to getting the fast track placard?
Yep, just come and we'll give you the set of agreements and also just the directions for using it and a placard. That's it. Okay. Pre-K, this is for pre-K arrival and pickup. So pre-K families need to sign in their child. You also need to sign out your child when you pick them up. The school hours for pre-K starts at 8:30 to 4, Monday through Friday. The drop-off begins at 8:15 on Webster. It is outside of the gate to the parking lot for the teachers, but please don't park in the staff lot. Pull up, it'll be Miss Marilyn, one of the para, somebody, another staff member in early ed. They will be screened. You will sign in your child and then accompanied by a para into the classroom. Questions, or Marilyn, did you want to add anything?
No, I don't think so. Unfortunately, no parents are allowed in the building. So one of the paras, as Lindsay said, will take them in.
The screening, Dina, is, you know, asking the questions, the screening questions, and then taking a temperature. Let's see, I think that's it.
Peter, who would you recommend dropping off first, the pre-K child or the elder child?
I mean, maybe do the pre-K, Shala, because you then, you know, just drop, you can sign her in and then just come around the corner and drop off Hari. Okay. Go ahead, Molly. So this is fast track looking. Now these are these cars won't be there. They have been there for the last year. I'm sure they love having all this parking available to them. But this is looking east on Jackson, and the other photo is looking west. So if you're looking west, this is you know, the little market is on the corner, and so your students will be lining up on this, in this area to be screened and going up then into the access road. But this is where, go back for 1 second, Molly, yeah. This is where you will just pull up to the curbside. Please, maximize the space as much as you can, pull up. We get your child in the car or out of the car in the morning, in the car in the afternoon. Make sure they're safe, the door is closed, and off you go. And it's the same with drop off in the morning. Make sure that you put that placard up before you get right, because I've seen them, sometimes they're like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? So 2 really important things. Be really present, be really mindful. Please don't be on the phone when you're picking up. Put the placard. Things can happen so quickly. So we really prioritize the safety of your child and everyone. No, the school is not being shared with the middle school this year. This is the access road. So once they're screened or they get out of the car, they go up to the access road. There will be an adult, a staff member that will take your child and show them where they are to line up in the morning. There isn't going to be obviously time for play, for running around. They need to go where the class lines up, socially distanced, and the teacher then at 8:30 will come down and pick up the class. The teacher takes them to the classroom. I'm not going to do the morning announcements. So I'm trying to think of something clever I can do with the students when they're in the yard waiting. But the teachers will come down, pick up their class, go into their room, and then I'll do announcements from the office with the students. Yeah.
Oops, sorry, let me go back. There were a couple of questions in the chat. Someone was asking about for pre-K pickup, will staff be outside to
Yeah, that's something that we have to, we need to, I've got in there, I think, to be announced. So obviously you're going to need to pick up on Webster as well. However, that's something we need to, we'll get back to you pre-K parents, because we want to make it as seamless, easy, and safe for your child. So because we can't have people coming in the room. So that will be announced. What we're trying to do is figure out the hours for the families so that we can stagger the pickup times.
And then what time will safety monitors have to arrive once they are back in school?
So 8 o'clock is the usual time. They will, what I'll do is put all of their vests, I'll put some vests in their classroom so they can get the vests, or they can just take them. I don't have that many this year, but they will just go down to the fast track, get kids out of the car starting at, we might have them helping with making sure kids are socially distanced and other things, maybe, taking a class and moving them up to the yard. Our safety monitors are really amazing, fifth graders. They help in so many ways. They help to the yearbook. They help constantly. So I have no doubt that they'll be completely competent.
There was one question about could you do the health check online?
No, we need to do it. Yeah.
And then a question is being asked, if we did drop off in the past but not fast track or pickup, do we need a placard? So anyone who will be doing fast track this year will need a placard, but if you're going to have a different drop off plan, you do not. And parent volunteers, yes, I believe, James, are you gathering names for some parent volunteers to help with drop off?
Yes.
Okay, so if you would like to volunteer, please reach out to.
We have people, but we could always use more. So I put
And no,
mine.
you don't need a placard for, yeah, okay. You got it.
Yeah, morning, to be clear, we call them different things, but morning drop off is volunteer led, and there are not a lot of, and safety monitors, sorry, because there's no security concerns around, or, you know, it's not removing a child from the school. So as long as you drop them off safely, they're brought into the school. But picking a child up in the afternoon requires the staff to release the children, and it's a different, that's why they're treated somewhat separately.
So no, your child will get a temperature screening outside of the gate, out down on the sidewalk. So when your child gets out of the car, we screen. And if your child does not pass the screening, we will call you to pick up your child. But if they are past, they pass the screening, then they will be led up to where their classmates are waiting for the teacher. Okay. So the classrooms are set up to keep everyone safe. The desks do have to be spaced 4 feet apart and face the same direction. The students will sit at the same desk each day. They will limit the sharing of instructional materials. Please don't worry about sending your child with any instructional materials. We've got, Marilyn ordered a backpack for our students with a writing notebook with pencils. What else is in there, Marilyn?
Crayons. The older kids have rulers. They all have scissors. There's a lot. Spent a lot.
So don't share, send your child to school with anything. They don't need anything. We have water bottles. We've ordered one for every child. They'll get that the first day of school. So don't worry about any of that. We need to limit the sharing of any instructional materials. In areas where students gather or wait in line, the spots are marked every 6 feet. And the student to teacher distance, so I recognize that, you know, that it's now been decreased, I think, to 3 feet, but the MOU is 4 feet. The MOU meaning the negotiation with the teachers union, but the teacher to student must be 6 feet distance. And I think the next slide is just what most of the classrooms, all of the classrooms will look like. This just happens to be one classroom. Molly? Oh, there we go.
There were a couple of questions in the chat. Sorry, it's hard to be doing both of these things. I don't know if someone else can.
I'm answering some of the questions.
Okay, yeah, so people are asking about computers, laptops, and
Yeah,
We'll get to that. The Chromebooks, I know that you've been hearing that they bring their Chromebook back and forth to school with them. That only applies to our 4th and 5th graders. Please do not, they're not going to bring the Chromebooks back and forth to school. We have Chromebook, they need to bring the Chromebooks, and then they are there for them at school. The 4th and 5th graders, I know that the teachers are doing things that they might want to take home, and they're responsible, and that's what they need to learn to do. That's fine, but not the pre-K, not at all. The K through 3rd graders bring their Chromebook and leave it at school. Yes, Kimberly, exactly.
And lunch is served in the classrooms. They will not be going to the dining hall.
And that's in here as well. So this is the classroom. So the sinks, they all need to be cleared. All of the drinking fountains, you'll see, well, you won't see because you won't be in there, but all of the drinking fountains are closed off in the classroom as well as in the hallways and on the yard. They need to use their water bottle. They can fill it up using the spigot here, but they cannot use they won't be able to use the drinking fountains. The first photo is the drinking fountains. We have sanitizers, dispensers in every room, in the office. You know, we really want kids and everybody to be constantly, getting in the habit of using that and washing their hands. So, we didn't have a lot of clutter to clear out. So our rooms are pretty clean and uncluttered. So we were able to kind of have, I think we're up to like 17 desks, but we really need to max out right there. The teachers really have done everything they could to fit their students into the room with a 4-foot distance. So I really want to commend them for, they really felt so strongly about keeping all of their students. So it was, it worked out. But all of the instructional materials, they are their own, they are packaged like we have for kindergarten through second grade. I'm sure some of you remember the Let's Learn books. We have Let's Learn More, and there's little leveled books inside the packet for each child, so they have their own instructional materials. All right, now we're at lunch. So the food will be served on carts. Right now, we don't have our lunch schedule. I will tell you that they'll spend 15 minutes in the classroom with the teacher eating, and then the teacher will bring them out to the yard. Then the teacher has their lunch, 30-minute lunch period, while we are watching the students, and they cannot break cohorts, and I'll kind of explain that after we're done with the meals, and they will have a 30-minute recess. Our goal really is to get them out as much as we can. So they will eat in the classroom at their desk, table, maybe outdoors once in a while. We can't fit, PE and other specials and lunch, but we're going to do our best to make sure that they get out as much as we possibly can. We will provide a water bottle for each child. Please make sure that they don't bring those home. If they bring them home, make sure you send them back with the child. They will be labeled with their name on them. They need to leave them on their desks every day. The students will be provided free breakfast and lunch. Please, you may bring food from home, but the students absolutely cannot share it. And SFPM is a nut-free school. Please do not send nuts of any kind in your child's lunch. Eating and drinking is the only time students can remove their masks. When they're not wearing it, they need to place their face mask on a clean paper towel or in their pocket, preferably a clean paper towel. And every classroom has paper towels. They give the students, they need to put it there and put it back on when they're finished eating. And they have to stay in their stable group.
A parent asked if we will be washing the water bottles at school. So I think I know the answer to that is no, but I'm wondering if we want to have maybe every Friday, students bring them home, wash them over the weekend, and bring them back on Monday.
Sure.
There are some more questions as well. Lunch situation is still unclear. If your child was sent with a packed lunch, does that stop or not? You may still send a packed lunch with your child. They just can't share. Free food for all students or only those who are enrolled? Yes, for all.
Everybody is free at this time.
Lunch timing is still being determined, and we will let everyone know as soon as that has been settled.
I believe, Kimberly, the lunch, can you order like what your child wants? I believe, Marilyn, do you know if is it on the website? Can you maybe check that? You know what, Kimberly, I will send out because there are choices. So I'm not sure if it's the same or how that's going to be done. So let me find that out for you. Yeah. You can bring your own water bottle. We just wanted to make sure everybody had a water bottle, so that's not a problem. Okay. Okay. Recess, again, like I said, it will be outside whenever it's possible. Let's hope for no rainy days or smoke to keep us inside. If we can't be outside, then recess will be held indoors, but not include physical activities. We can't do physical activities indoors. Same goes for the PE teacher. If at all he has to end up indoors, it cannot be physical activities. So we're hoping for no smoke or rainy days during the time we're at school. Face masks must be worn during recess, and students again must stay in their cohort in the designated areas. So we have pictures of the yard. We have 3 different areas for our elementary, and we'll show those to you. So what we're thinking is we're just going to rotate the cohorts around in the areas. They will be cleaned by the custodian. The pre-K yard has 2 spaces, and again, we'll rotate those as well. So for those of you who are new to us, we have this is the kindergarten through 5th grade yard. There's a structure area, and so we'll come up with some, they can bring a book out, they can play on the structure. They need to maintain distance as they can. We also have on this side, we don't have a big yard. We're only going to put 2 classes out, well, 2 to 3 at a time, max 3, because our yard is so small. We have this really lovely garden area where kids, can do, sometimes they'll bring, drawing out or a book out and read or just talk with each other. So it's a nice little space. And then the area that it's kind of a bigger area where the kids would play, basketball or foursquare. No, it won't be allowed because of the ball. We can't have. They can do things with their feet, like Mr. Joe asked today, can they kick the ball? I mean, they can kick it, but it can't be like a soccer game. So we're gonna have to think together as a staff to be creative in how we can make it interesting for our students. And this is our pre-K yard. So we have the upper area where the structure is. And then we have 2 pre-K classrooms. So in the upper area, one day the students will be able to plan the structure. The teachers will bring out little foam puzzles or, other things that they can kind of sit in and work on. And then the other area is a labyrinth. They can run around in that, a little more space to run around. And then dismissal. Hold on a minute. Can you go through that while I try to invite somebody in, Molly or Marilyn? Or no, you're doing it. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to do it?
No, go ahead. Somebody can't get in, so I'm going to try.
Okay. Dismissal for K to 5 is on the yard. Students will be brought down to your car if you have a placard. If not, you will need to find parking, walk to the gate, and your child will be released to you. And then pre-K pickup time is going to be determined. We just need to find out what the family's hours are. Staff will escort your student out using the access road. At this time, parent and volunteers are not allowed inside the building. We're really sorry about that, but that's what's happening. Please pick up your child between 1:15 to 1:30, K through 5. Unfortunately, staff is not available to supervise after 1:30. We do not have an after-school program at the moment. And pre-K school day is from 8:30 to 4. Families will need to sign their child in and also out. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. Okay, so these are, you'll need to return the forms. There's 4 forms that you will need to return. And so you can just go ahead and play that, Molly.
I'm going to stop sharing and reshare again. I'm not sure that I shared my audio.
Okay, I can do it if you.
Before your child can return to in-person school, there are a few forms that must be completed and returned. 1. The risk acknowledgement. This is what the form looks like for pre-kindergarten students, and this is what it looks like for students in grades TK through 12. 2. Your emergency. Return to in-person school, there are a few forms that must be completed and returned. 1. The risk acknowledgement. This is what the form looks like for pre-kindergarten students, and this is what it looks like for students in grades TK through 12. 2. Your emergency card. 3. Your tuberculosis clearance and a record of required immunizations. 4. Students in TK, kindergarten, and first grade must also complete a physical exam. 5. For students in specialty classes, your prior written notice. These forms can be found in your Return to In-Person placement packet. You may complete them on ParentVue or bring them to school with you on the first day. For more information, visit our website at sfusd.edu/return-safely or call 415-340-1716.
Any questions about the forms? What information do you require if you plan to have non-guardian? So that whoever you want to pick up needs to be on the emergency card. So if you haven't submitted an emergency card with the people that you want to have to be able to pick up your child, then you need to submit a new one. Okay.
Lindsay, do you see the other questions in the chat?
There's one about all pre-K students. Yes, they do need to have a tuberculosis test, but often the doctors will waive it, and that's also okay, but that has to be marked down that it has been waived.
And let's see, we've got one. Kimberly, medical exam and immunization forms are okay if you are, yes, if you already submitted those? Yes.
As long as they're up to date. So I can check.
What about, let's see, Jean, do we need to do a new physical if we've already had one done prior to the school year?
No, so if the physical covers this school year, then you're all right. But if it does not, then you do need to have one done.
Yes, these forms are in ParentVue.
What does up to date mean? Well, it means that the physical was, like I just said, was done so that it covers this year. If it only covered until January, then you'd need another physical.
And yes, I'm sorry. I know some of our pre-K families were having trouble getting in. I'm not sure what was going on, but yes, it is recorded. So it will be posted on your child's Google Classroom or on our website.
So Xenia asked, covers the school year. So the school year would be August through June. August of last year through June of this year.
No, no COVID test required, correct? Okay. All right. We want to shout out to Molly. I know you've got your little one there, and she's trying to answer all these questions and flip through the slideshow, and yeah, it's a lot. Okay, here's the emergency card. Make sure that you fill it out. If it needs to be updated, we need an emergency card from every family with emergency contacts on it. And if somebody comes to pick up your child and they're not on the emergency card, we will not release your child to them. So they need to be on the emergency card. Yes, Kim, I can confirm at this time until I hear different that it's until 12, and yes, lunch will be served. Okay, so COVID-19 testing for students. Obviously, really important part of keeping everyone safe. So the regular testing helps us support our students and our school staff to know when to isolate if someone's positive for COVID-19. This California Department of Public Health and our agreement with our labor partners, the UESF, teacher union, requires that the district offer testing of students for COVID prior to their offering it. It is not required. To returning to school and every 2 weeks while attending school in person. You will be getting information about where those sites are, where you can take your child to get tested. Teachers and staff will be tested on site every 2 weeks. And then, like I said, the district will have student testing sites, and it is no cost to families at least 1 week before the return. More information, check your Family Digest, check online. I will send anything that I get as well to make sure that everybody is getting that information and up-to-date information. As I said, please check the Family Digest. And then the students will be able to access in-person learning even if a family chooses not to have them participate in the COVID-19 testing, but it is free. So take advantage of that.
There's one there from Patrick Baker. Yes, emergency card is as in an emergency contact. I believe I probably sent you one when I found out your son was coming to our school.
COVID testing happens on site for the teachers. We have not been designated a student testing site, but teachers are tested every 2 weeks. And yes, we have the testing materials for teachers every 2 weeks. Oh, the Family Digest, very informative. I also, if you don't get Keener's Corner, or please send me an email and I'll make sure that you get on the list, because that comes out every week. And I actually link that Family Digest into my message to families. PTA also sends information every week about what's happening. But the Family Digest you can also find online at sfusd.edu, and it is updated every week. The student tests, COVID tests, we haven't gotten the information yet where they are located, but as soon as we get more information about that, then I will send that to you. And then, but I would keep checking the Family Digest, keep checking on sfusd.edu. Thank you, James. So it takes all of us, teamwork makes the dream work, to keep everyone safe. This means that our students and staff must always self-screen before coming to school. Please, if your child is exhibiting any symptoms, please keep your child home and give us a call. Physically distance at least 6 feet apart. I just want to say, I really want to emphasize that, because if a child or a teacher or staff comes to school and they are test positive for COVID, that cohort closes. So it's really important that we're all following these rules and we're really, supporting each other by keeping our child home if they are showing any kinds of symptoms. Physically distance at least 6 feet apart. Wear the face mask all the time, except when eating or drinking, washing and sanitizing your hands frequently, staying in your stable group. We have designated restrooms for cohorts. We're working out what class will use which restroom or stall. We're limited on the bathrooms, but we're really making sure that we're not mixing our students. Schools will ensure outdoor air ventilation and frequent cleaning and disinfecting. Purifiers are placed in each classroom and utilized spaces. James, do you want to just say a word about the new purifiers that are being ordered, or somebody who's on the PTA?
Yeah, I can comment, but I wasn't directly involved in.
Yeah, but you did some research on it, so
I did a little bit. And so I'm not sure if it's fully informed, but the amount of time that I put into it, it's, as I understand it, air purifiers or filters were purchased for the classrooms last year, and those were available. But from my quick research, it doesn't look like they're antibacterial. They filter out a lot of particles. I think you're mostly thinking about smoke and other things at the time. But the new round of filters that the PTA is asking for some donations to purchase do actually filter out bacteria and viruses. Like I said, that's not exhaustive research, but from my limited amount, I could see that difference. And I'm not sure where we are in terms of getting all of those. It sounds like we had at least 5 of them last I checked, the new ones, but it would be great. I would feel better if all the classrooms had the new ones. Anybody else want to comment about that?
Okay.
I'd just like to comment on one thing about if your child is not coming to school and you need to call the office, please leave a message, because it's going to be crazy and I won't always be there to be able to pick the phone up. And leave your child's name and the teacher's name, and perhaps why your child is not there today. Thanks.
Melissa, are you here?
Yeah.
Do you want to address this about Parent View? Somebody has a
Oh,
question.
sorry, wrong Melissa.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there's Melissa Messina. Okay. Hi, Melissa. Okay.
Hi.
Has anybody, Kimberly has a question about Parent View. When you log in, it pulls up an authorization screen, but it won't let you sign in. Does anybody have any tips around that? I don't. Okay.
They have to put a ticket in to Family Link, SFUSD.
Is it Family Link
Can you provide that URL for everybody?
Yeah, I'm doing that. SFUSD.
It's not at, I'll look it up.
Okay, thank you. I thought it was.
Someone just said that you need to read through the agreement first, and then you click the link and you'll be able to sign it. And that was just a suggestion from a parent. Someone also asked, they direct message, is email easier than leaving a phone message, Marilyn?
Email is fine if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely send an email message to me as well. I'm just looking up the.
Yeah. Okay. So wearing a face covering. If your child is riding a bus, that you must wear a face covering or face mask before getting on the school bus or entering school. And only students with a documented medical reason to not wear a face mask would be exempt. And there needs to be a doctor's note explaining the need to be exempt due to a medical reason. So the screening at home, and please, this slideshow, the recording, please share this. There's portions of this that you need to share with your child. What I will do is just post this. I'll have the teachers post the slideshow also so that you can go over it with your child. But the questions are, has your child tested positive for COVID-19 within the past 10 days? Has your child been in close contact with anyone with COVID within the past 14 days? Is your child feeling ill or had any of the following symptoms within the past 10 days? So a fever greater than 100.4, chills, cough, sore throat, shortness of breath, headache, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, not being able to taste or smell or saying that things taste or smell differently. If they have one or any of these, please keep them home and send us an email or give us a call. If you answered no to all the questions, your child may go to school. If you answered yes to any one question, your child must stay home. The numbers, the school office number is right there. Or you can call us on the cell phones. We both have cell phones. We got those during the beginning of COVID. That is always linked into the Keener's Corner. So make a note of these, put them in your phone, save them, call us, leave a message, so that, or you can email to provide the reason for your child's address. Let me. Marilyn's email. I'm putting mine too, don't worry, Marilyn. There you go. Just send them all to Marilyn. No. Okay. Go ahead. Okay.
Together, we can return to school safely. When you wake up in the morning, check how you feel and if you're ready to leave home. If you don't feel well, stay home. Feeling good? Let's go! Make sure to wear a mask and that it covers both your mouth and nose. Wearing a mask helps us stop the spread of germs. It's one of the most important things we can do to protect ourselves and the people around us. When you arrive at school, an adult will make sure everyone coming to school feels healthy and ready to start the day. Well, we're so excited to be together again. Keeping space between you and others is important to avoid sharing germs. Just like at home, washing your hands is also important at school. We'll wash our hands or use hand sanitizer when we arrive at school, before and after we eat and play, and after we use the bathroom. We will also stay in our group and use our own school supplies rather than sharing. That way we won't share germs. We'll wear masks all day at school, except when it's time to eat, drink, or take a nap. When our masks are off, it's quiet time. Being quiet when our masks are off will help us stop the spread of germs. We won't share food to avoid sharing germs. After we eat, we'll put our masks back on and wash our hands. If you lose your mask or don't feel well during the school day, let an adult know and they will help you. We can't wait to be together again. Together, we can return to school safely. Together, we can return to school safely.
Okay, go ahead. For our pre-K families.
Hello, I'm Minu Yashar, Chief of the Early Education Department at SFUSD. In this video, I will share how you and your school can work together to create a safe and healthy learning environment for our students. You will be provided an assigned time and location to drop off and pick up your child. This will help us to avoid crowds. Before your child can enter school, you will need to answer health screening questions and sign in. School staff will then bring your child to school. You will need to stay outside. At the end of the day, school staff will bring your child outside to meet you. You will need to sign out. Our classrooms are designed with safety and learning in mind. Your young learner will be provided with materials and space to explore while keeping a safe distance from others. Instead of sharing school supplies, your child will be provided with their own bin to use. Teachers will also encourage safe distance activities such as puzzles and drawing. For meals, your child will eat in their classroom spaced at 6 feet apart. For naps, your child will sleep in their classroom with cots 6 feet apart and head spacing toes. Masks will not be worn while children are napping. We will ask your child to wash their hands several times throughout the day. Please bring the following items to school labeled with your child's name: masks, a fitted sheet and bedding for naps, an extra change of clothes, a water bottle, and any medication your child needs. Remember to label all items. I hope I've answered your questions about in-person learning for pre-kindergarten students. We look forward to seeing your child. For more information, please visit our website, sfusd.edu/returnsafely, or call 415-340-1716.
Okay. Multitasking. This is what to bring and what not to bring to school. Remember, Chromebooks, please don't send your child back and forth with their Chromebooks. If they're fifth, fourth, or fifth graders and they want to take it home, they're working on something, nuts. Okay, but they don't need to. So I'm gonna leave that up to the teacher.
Lindsay, do you see these other questions? Is there still an online option for students or a hybrid option?
So if you're in-person learning and you're saying, could you clarify that? Are you saying then you want to go back to distance learning, or there's no, Stacy, could you kind of tell me, or can we talk about it tomorrow? The only way we could do like a distance and an in-person is if there is kind of extenuating circumstances. So for example, if the child, goes to the mom and the mom lives in East Bay and it's very difficult to come back, and then the child is here in the city like 2 days a week with the father, that would be an extenuating circumstance. But otherwise, it's either distance learning or in person. Does that answer your question, Stacy? Stacy, if you want to call, we can chat more offline if you want to give me a call tomorrow, but we really are trying to stay with either one or the other. But can you give me a call tomorrow? Okay.
Hi, I'm Kai Osorio and I work for the San Francisco Unified School District. Today, I will show you what to bring to school and what not to bring. Please bring the following items every day. First and foremost, a face mask or a face covering. It is the most important item to bring. Wearing a face mask helps us stop the spread of germs. Even packed an extra, just as backup. Please bring your own water bottle. Your school will have stations for you to refill. And, I love my water bottle. I even added stickers to it. Also, please remember to bring your fully charged SFUSD laptop. If you do not have one, don't worry. Your school will provide one during the school day. Pre-K students do not need to bring their SFUSD laptop. Please remember your Clever badge to log into your apps. And we also ask that you please label all the items with your name with some removable tape, such as blue painter's tape. Now we ask that you please do not bring the following items. Any toys. Toys need to stay home so that we don't spread germs at school. We also ask that you do not bring any food that's shared. Breakfast and lunch will be provided by your school, but you may pack your own food as long as you do not share it with others. We also ask that you leave your personal laptops and other devices at home. SFUSD schools will be providing you with a laptop to use during the school day, so you don't need to bring your personal ones. Wi-Fi hotspots, don't bring those. Your school will have internet access. Pre-K students and students in special day classes may have additional items that they need to bring to school, so please see those videos for more information. And we look forward to having you and your child back in the classroom. For more information, please visit our website at sfusd.edu/returnsafely or call 415-340-1716. Looking forward to having you back in school. See you there.
Okay, so if your fifth grader is bringing their SFUSD device to school, make sure they're fully charged, clearly labeled with a removable label, like painter's tape, and transported be really gentle. We want to keep them in good shape. So a cushion backpack or a bag.
And there was a question about younger students who do have school devices. They should bring them back, even though they won't be bringing them back and forth. They should be brought back to school, correct?
Yes. Yeah, so that's what I said, sure. Where to get more information? So we can put that in the chat. Oops, sorry, Stacy, I just sent that. And again, please check out Family Digest. There's the phone number for you. And the last thing is the Google form, I believe. Any questions? You can end the recording.